violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Do you have any questions?
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
So we got Jussie Smollett, and he's doing all this stuff. And this is definitely demon time activities. I would classify this as demon time activities. Faking a hate crime to incite racial violence or racial tensions. And notice his attorney is tapping him on the arm when he's talking about this suicidal stuff. Watch.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not.
She's like, what? He's going off script. I know he's an actor, but we didn't sign up for all this improv.
Suicidal. I am innocent. And
Look, she tapping him. She's like, chill, for he violates you for real. The judge showed mad patience because Jussie, you did it. You messed up. You lied. You're a liar. You're a fake. Nobody believes you. But the community is so disingenuous, and I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you how. Because I read an article that his 93-year-old grandma said, well, if you're going to lock him up, you might as well lock me up too. Like, grandma, you ain't finna do no prison time. Come on, stop it.
I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years.
That's absolutely what you did, though. But you didn't do it to stick your fist in the fears of Black Americans. No, you did it because you're a super gremlin on LGBT. Y'all thought I was gonna say demon time, but nah, seriously, he did it because he wanted attention. He did it because he thought that he was gonna be able to get away with it, with racial tensions being so high and whatnot, which all of it is a facade in real life. But he did it because he thought he was gonna come up off of it, and it backfired, and you lost, Jussie. And you have to take the L. This is how disingenuous and intellectually dishonest, I'm going to continue to use that term because it sums up the community in a nutshell.
And the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that.
This guy is a joke.
I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision.
The only reason why he didn't violate Jussie is because he was like, I respect you, Honor. I respect you. But I did not. You know what I mean? Like, he was letting it be known to the judge that, hey, I don't want any smoke. I'm just saying this for the cameras and for the theatrics of things.
Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay. Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present right now?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Will.
The defense would wish to present a motion to reconsider sentence
All right.
and file a standard.
All right. It is timely filed.
Thank you, Judge.
And let me say, I've obviously considered the sentence at great length. And it's timely filed, so it's preserved for purposes of appeal. Motion.
I mean, Jussie, 150 days. What? I mean, come on, bruh. You can do that time. It's half a year. You'll probably get out early. Stop crying.
To reconsider sentence is respectfully denied. And is there another, one second, Randy. Anything else? Just a second. Is there going to be a notice of appeal filed?
Yes, Judge. We're filing a notice of appeal. We're going to be
He wants to know if the notice of appeal is going to be filed so he can reject it right away.
to the court right now, to the office.
You doing it in stanter? And are you going to be handling the appeal?
Judge, as of now, yes.
Well, you have to commit to
Yes,
handling the
Judge.
appeal
Yes,
for the
yes,
appellate
we're
court.
filing a notice
Okay.
of appeal.
All right. Notice of appeal may be filed. Charlotte, and now I need the prosecutors to work with Charlotte, the probation officer, to work out probation specifications with the conditions I just explained. 150 days in the county jail, the restitution, the fines. Oh, and also statutory DNA and costs are ordered as well. That's statutory. So you have to fill out the probation specifications, and I'm going to get somebody to help you do that, but we need to get that done in Stanter. Anything else today? Yes.
Your Honor, if I may, in light of the notice of appeal, we would ask that you suspend the jail sentence in light of the...
Do what?
Wow. Suspend the jail sentence, and then she go. I mean, these sisters, they going hard for these brothers. I don't know if it's because he's part of the alphabet community. I don't know. But they going hard for these dudes. And she probably would have done it for any super gremlin who shot another sister. You know what I mean? But look how the judge reacted to her asking to suspend the jail sentence.
In light of the notice of appeal, we would ask that you suspend the jail sentence in light of the
Do what?
filing of the notice of appeal.
Did I do what?
Suspend the jail sentence in light of the notice of filing of appeal.
That will be respectfully denied. Yes, Mark.
Respectfully.
Mr. Lewis.
If it can be stayed in light of our notice of appeal.
No, I'm not staying. No.
All these people, I mean, the legal process in America is amazing that you have all these different avenues to circumvent the punishment. And Jussie is still crying racism. You got multiple attorneys asking for a suspended sentence, a stay of the sentence, a postponement of the sentence. I mean, come on, bro. Just do the time.
The wheels of justice turn slowly, and sometimes the hammer of justice has to fall, and it's falling right here, right now. I'm not staying this. This happens right here, right now. Okay. Charlotte?
Judge, I know you sentenced him to that Mr. Smollett been guilty.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. I'll give you those details.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Any other matters to come before the court today? All right. Defendants remanded to the custody of the sheriff. Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal.
Stop locking up our black.
I am not
Oh, man. And then somebody in the crowd, stop locking up our black people. Like, bruh.
I am not suicidal.
Stop locking up our black.
I am not suicidal. And I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
You should have said that you were guilty, bruh.
Stop locking up our black men.
No way she's saying stop locking up our black men. These sisters are insane. Insane.
Stop locking up our black men.
Stop locking up our black men. I mean, these sisters are ridiculous. You can't do nothing with them.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
All right, let's go to Charlie DeMar. He has been, of course, covering this for us from the very beginning. He broke this case when it first happened over 3 years ago. And Charlie, you've been in the courtroom all day. So, all right, it's a lot to cover, but are there any nuances that you were able to see from your vantage point that we were unaware of, including Jussie Smollett interacting with his team? Anything that really stood out to you?
And Erica, before we dive into that, I do want to throw over to Jussie Smollett's older brother, Jojo, who's speaking right now. So let's go over to that right now.
He spoke about his arrogance. He doesn't know the struggles my brother is encountering. He doesn't. What
struggles? Look at him trying to play the victim. The only struggle that he's having is his struggle career. And the struggles that they have fabricated on the hit show Empire, which isn't really a hit anymore.
He doesn't know anything that he's dealing with. He doesn't know anything that he's dealing with. He's spent all that time shaming him. In 2020,
shaming him. Shaming him. Listen to the language that these soft beta male, beta black men are using. Shaming him. Instead of saying, hey, my brother messed up. He needs to take full accountability. And when he takes full accountability, he will come out a rehabilitated man. He won't come out a compulsory liar. He's not going to come out, you know, the same guy that he went in. But you're still playing the victim like, bruh. Can't take these dudes seriously, man.
22, we don't shame people like this. All right? He basically called him a mental case. All right? If you look at that testimony, he basically reiterated and regurgitated.
God, look at them. Look at them throwing up the black fists. It's like, bruh, y'all done made it tired, bro. The fist is tired. The fist is tired. You're using it for everything. You can't just throw up the fist and just, like, no, Jussie don't deserve the fist. He don't.
All the prosecutors said there was no independence. This is a duly elected judge in Cook County. He's supposed to be elected by the people, not just a stooge and a rubber stamp for the prosecutors.
The judge did his job.
And I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Your name again, sir?
My name is JoJo Smollett. I'm his oldest brother.
No, not JoJo. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I have something I want to say quickly.
This is probably the chick. Stop locking up our black people.
My name is Jazz Smollett. I'm his older sister.
Jazz. Everybody with the J's. Oh, man.
First of all, I want to say my brother is innocent. My brother.
Wow. Tell that to the two African men that was piping them down and beating them up on both fronts.
Brother Jussie is innocent. This should not be a controversial statement because it is the absolute truth. What should be controversial is the entire miscarriage of justice this whole ordeal has been. I pray peace over my brother. I pray the peace of God over my brother and all victims of oppression and hate. I pray that we can do better as a world. May the God of peace be with you.
Wow. These people keep mentioning God. They keep mentioning God as if they believe in God. Well, they do. But their God is on demon time.
Shalom.
She did not say shalom.
Your name, sir?
My name is Jockey Smollett. I'm Jussie's youngest brother.
Jockey? Everybody look alike. The only way you could tell Jockey from JoJo is the mole on JoJo's face.
My brother does not deserve this. I watched my brother go from being a complete victim, which he
Bro, can you please put your hand down, bro?
Still is. He was attacked, and he is now going to jail for being attacked.
He paid those African men to put hands, feet, and Dizzick on him.
My brother get locked up within 2 weeks for being attacked. Do you know how crazy that is? They want to say in that court and say that he's the reason why folks aren't going to report hate crimes.
It's not Jussie that's the only one who is mental. It's the whole family. Stop locking up our black people.
They're the reason why folks aren't going to report hate crimes.
Because none of you believed it.
None of y'all believed it. We have letters from the NAACP, President Derek Johnson himself. We have letters.
Which is a joke.
From Rainbow Push Coalition.
Rainbow what? Another joke.
Letters from the NAACP, President Derek Johnson himself. We have letters from Rainbow Push Coalition. We have letters from the Innocence Project, all saying that he should not be in jail. And they put him in jail. That judge chastised him. He chastised my brother.
He deserved to be chastised. And you need to get gap ties. They need to take you under the water and fix your gap. No, just but it's crazy how these it's crazy how these people are still. This is how insane these super gremlins are. And yes, they're all super gremlins at this point. Like you can't get away from it, man. They're exemplifying all of the overly emotional behaviors, the intellectual dishonesty, the unaccountability that we see the community display all along. And it's happening too often, and we're literally taking these people seriously. Like, I guarantee all these people, JoJo, Jackie, and then the sister, they're all going to be our civil rights leaders in the future. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Does not deserve this. He was attacked. Do people never once think, even the folks who are naysayers, do you ever once think what happens if he's telling the truth?
If he's telling the truth.
Do y'all ever think about how poorly you feel? And
can we find those white supremacist Trump supporters who did what he said they did to him? Please.
That situation, he's in jail for 5 months. That is unacceptable for being attacked. It is not his fault.
Emotional beta super gremlin on Demon Time.
That folks are not going to believe survivors anymore.
Look at him looking straight into the camera. He's dead serious. Like he really believes his brother.
He is a survivor and he has been completely mistreated, and this has to stop.
Please do your investigative journalism work.
She said, please do your investigative journalism work. I bet all of those reporters out there are just confused. Like, what the hell just happened?
Jussie Smollett's grandmother.
A remarkable moment there, and we have seen. Let's listen to.
No, not grandma. And look, grandma's a glider. Is grandma gonna throw the fist up?
Grandma.
Being abducted into the prison system.
Is she not? She talking about some black man. He's not in the prison system. He's in jail for 5 months. I mean, he's taking a stroll down the prison system, but he's not. Bro, if he stops lying, he won't be arrested. I guarantee he'll stay out of trouble for the rest of his life if he stops lying.
You know it. And you guys got to do more investigative reporting.
Oh, God.
More investigation.
You need to look into your grandson.
Okay? Thanks.
Can you, Molly, his comments after...
Look at grandma. She did the 360.
Thanks.
Can you say, Molly, his comments after the sentencing, the reiteration, the repeating that he's not suicidal, are you worried about what's going to happen to him in prison? Why do you think he said that?
He just wanted to reassure us. He wanted to reassure us.
So that was for you?
He's innocent, okay? Like so many in prison that shouldn't be there.
I'm going to tell you what right now, 99.9% of the people in prison are not innocent.
Get the white collar guys, okay? Who are really
The white collar guys, oh God.
making money, who are really corrupt. We've got to do something about saving our democracy here so that we don't get another Putin. Okay, I love you guys, okay? I'm a film person.
I love you guys. I'm a film person. Look, she's trying to blast off her career.
My name is Nate Phillips, and I would just like to say, until the person who...
Not Nate with a Gucci. It's like a Gucci Pan-African mask. Come on, Nate. Didn't you see what Gucci did with the with the racist blackface Pooh Shiesty mask? Didn't you see what Gucci did with the racist blackface Pooh Shiesty mask? Come on, Nate. You're better than that.
recently occupied the White House. The judge said that Mr. Smollett was accused of lying. Well, guess what? The man that occupied the White House was accused of telling thousands of lies. And as long
Look at them. Oh my God. What are you talking about, bro? Don't try and flip this on Trump. Do not try and flip this on Trump. See, this is our problem right here.
As he remains free, Jesse should remain free.
Okay, this is a gentleman not connected necessarily with the Smollett group, but then hearing an interesting anecdote from Grandma there. We were trying to read into Erica what he was saying. I am not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. She says the meaning was literal to the family, saying, don't worry about me.
Yes.
Don't worry about my mental health as I go into jail.
And he did. We could see him at different times looking around the courtroom, seeming to make eye contact and address those statements on multiple occasions to different people.
But we wondered what the meaning was.
Right.
What was he trying to say? Is he in danger? But Grandma interpreted it as if Jesse was saying, I will be okay.
It is interesting, though, that he says, if anything happens to me, as if to imply that...
Almost a threat to the judge. It's on you.
And it wouldn't be because it was at his own hand, at Jesse Smollett's own hand. Charlie DeMar is back with us now. I know, Charlie, before we went and heard from many of the family members here, we wanted to get your perspective. As you've been in the courtroom for all of these hours of testimony, the family on his behalf and the judge's sentence.
Yeah, as you just heard, the family, before they left court tonight, very upset. They also were shouting in the courtroom. I don't know if you were able to hear it or if the cameras picked it up. I know Jesse was obviously the center point of that shot. But from the gallery, his family members were yelling. His sister Journey kept repeating, "Stop locking our black men up," over and over again to the judge. Jojo, who you just heard from here, he also had words for the judge. As you saw, Jesse Smollett was walked out of the courtroom. Throughout the day, Jesse chose not to address the court on his own behalf before sentencing. But in that dramatic moment, both seated, sitting down right after he learned his sentence, he had a lot to say. And also as he was being walked away, where he will now spend the next 151 days behind jail. I believe we do have that queued up.
I am not suicidal. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time.
This man crazy.
And to clarify, Smollett will serve half of that 151-day sentence.
What? He making all this fuss for 75 days? 75 and a half days?
But as Dana said at the onset, the Judge James Lynn was strong. He chose his words carefully, calling Jesse Smollett arrogant, a narcissist, and that he brought this on himself, that he ultimately, at least on the outset, had it all. He had a great career and chose to do this. And Judge Lynn talked about a lot of the ironies in this case, that Jesse did volunteer much of his time volunteering and a lot of his money to foundations, to organizations that do forward social justice issues.
About a dozen supporters of Empire star Jesse Smollett rallied outside the Cook County Jail today.
Free Jesse Smollett!
Wow, this is why the OGs are failures, bro. The OGs have failed the community, bro. The OGs have failed the community. OGs and sisters, obviously, these super gremlins, we already know what type of time they're on. We don't they're just like the ultimate cherry on top. But the fact that these people are protesting for Jesse Smollett and we can't get a protest for any of these young sisters who are being killed in the streets of Chicago is crazy. I'm telling you, these old head super gremlins are on demon time.
Free Jesse Smollett!
Smollett was convicted of 5 disorderly conduct charges and sentenced to 150 days in jail. Smollett was found guilty of staging a hate crime against himself in January of 2019. Those who support him claim the judicial system is racist and that Smollett should not be serving any jail time.
We are here because it appeared
Media was not interested in gaining the input of the community. They were
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that jury that found him guilty. That's the community. If you have a problem, take it up with them.
interested in gaining the input of the system.
In addition to the jail sentence, Smollett must pay $120,000 in restitution to
He probably should be paying $220,000.
the city of Chicago and a fine. He also faces 30 months of felony probation.
Exclusive interview with Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx. She says the justice system failed Jussie Smollett and worries about the lasting impact this case could have on prosecutors across the country.
Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this.
For 3 years, the case of actor Jussie Smollett has kept the city of Chicago, and the nation for that matter, holding its collective breath. What was to happen to the actor who falsely claimed being attacked for being gay in the wee small hours of a cold January night on Lower North Water Street?
He is a victim, and we treat him like a victim.
A month later, we'd find out from police that Smollett had faked the entire assault. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx would bring charges against Smollett, but would eventually recuse herself after receiving a call from a member of Smollett's family. As the case turned into a media frenzy, behind the scenes, it would be one of the worst chapters of the state's attorney's career.
There is nothing that I will do here today that can come close to the damage you've already done to your own life.
On Thursday, Judge James Lynn sentences Smollett to 150 days in jail, ordering him to pay a little over $120,000 in restitution and slapping on a $25,000 fine. Thursday, Fox pens an op-ed in the Chicago Sun-Times where she calls the Smollett case a failure of our justice system.
Wow. And this is why you have so many murders in Chicago, because Kim Foxx, a Sistah, refuses to hold these super gremlins accountable. And yes, Jussie Smollett is a super gremlin indeed. He faked a violent crime in order to further his ambulance chasing career of being a civil rights activist,
citing a mob mentality against black women elected prosecutors. Friday morning, Fox and I sit down for this exclusive television interview to explain. What do you mean mob mentality against black female prosecutors?
In this case, it's been 3 years for a class 4 felony where a decision was made. And for the last 3 years, there's been this deliberate attempt to upend the decision that my office made. And it feels unprecedented and it feels personal.
Because you're not abiding by the law. You were gonna give him a break, cut him a break just because he's your friend. That's a conflict of interest. What's personal is you slapping the faces of Chicago taxpayers by letting all the resources that they put into trying to figure out what was going on go to waste.
Racist?
Mr. Smollett was given 150 days in Cook County Jail. Last time the special prosecutor had a case of R.J. Vaneco, the man who was accused of punching and killing someone, he got 60 days in jail. You punch and kill someone and get 60.
And this is these sisters conflating different cases, trying to compare. Every case is different. Straight up. Every case is different.
60 days in jail. You lie about a hoax in which you are the victim, which is not to dismiss it, but you get 150.
Well, at least she admitted that he lied about it. So that no longer makes him a victim, does it? It makes him the perpetrator.
And so what I would say is that Cook County's criminal justice system has had racial disparities throughout, and this is a clear example of what that racial disparity looks like.
She's sweating too. She's sweating trying to explain this one.
You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself.
Why did the judge admonish him as he did?
I have not seen, in my tenure as state's attorney, helicopters flying overhead, the scrum of cameras, whether it was on the first bond hearing date or yesterday.
Well, you had R. Kelly. You had similar
R. Kelly had an arrest warrant out for him, and the spectacle around that. But that was for allegations of sexually abusing multiple women. That was for allegations of sexual assault. This was allegations that he perpetrated a hoax. And I think the energy, and people have had really strong emotions about this case, from the President of the United States.
Who is also your friend. In referring to Barack Obama, but I think she's talking about Trump. But anyways, just know that this woman, I mean, she's, wow, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't even know what to do. You can't stop these types of women from getting into power, even when it shows that they don't know what they're doing. They're always gonna play on that card of being a woman and being a black woman and doing this and doing that. I mean, she obviously has failed in her position, and she's still able to get up here and talk this talk about Jussie Smollett being a victim. It's insane.
To the FOP and folks in between.
Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
He was made an example of.
But who is the example being made of, and for what?
I think part of the example is being made for prosecutors who decide not to do what's traditionally done. I think part of this is, the decision that I made. And it was not acceptable to some. And we're going to show you what an alternate disposition would be. Is sending you to prison or sending you to jail for 150 days? Is that what accountability looks like when we don't do that on other Class 4 felonies? We don't. We don't do that on other Class 4 felonies. And so
maybe you don't do that.
I think Mr. Smollett paid the price for people who wanted, who had a thirst for revenge.
Jussie Smollett has never shown to the city of Chicago an ounce of contrition. He's never once stood up to say, I'm sorry. He's never once stood up to accept responsibility for his criminal conduct. He has simply denied it, denied it, and denied it.
In August of 2019, a judge appoints former U.S. Attorney Dan Webb to investigate why Foxx's office eventually drops charges against Smollett.
Smollett was allowed to go free and basically give the finger to the city of Chicago. Judge Tooman decided that handling of that case was so inappropriate that a special prosecutor needed to be appointed.
Good. That's good. That's good, man. I mean, this dude's Jussie is a joke, and this type of behavior needs to be called out on every level.
So I followed the directions of Judge Tooman and not the directions of Kim Foxx.
That special prosecutor's charge was to determine whether or not I had improper contact with Mr. Smollett's family, and whether or not I had a role in the outcome of the case.
In a TV interview, Webb explains why he took on the case for the Chicago Police Department and the city.
The prosecutors who handled this case, Joe Magatz and Risa Lanier, both of them have handled police officers who were murdered in the line of duty. And I want to lift that up. They knew how to handle a Class 4. And so I'll take the shots. I'm the elected official. I'll take it. What I won't allow is for the denigration of the men and women who do this work.
Foxx laments that racial disparities still linger within the criminal justice system and admonishes those who cringe when she continues to bring it up.
If that's so, then how is Mayor Lightfoot the mayor and she's black and LGBT, and then you are the district attorney and you're a Sistah? Please make it make sense. The only reason why there's a racial disparity is, let's keep it a buck, because these super gremlins are on demon time.
What has been interesting about my time, when I say that there are racial disparities, it's so discomforting for people. There she goes talking about race. But I can't help but notice that when I go into 26 in California, the overwhelming majority of victims are black and brown. the overwhelming majority of defendants are black and brown. And there's something that tells me, because I know black and brown people aren't inherently more dangerous than anybody else.
Hold up. What'd she say?
Because I know black and brown people aren't inherently more dangerous than anybody else.
Did we all hear that correctly? I'm not even gonna comment on that. I'm gonna just let it ride. What I will say is, if you know, you know. If you're out here, you see what's going on. You'll move accordingly. There's a lot of root problems and root causes that we can bring up. But the result of today is what it is, and like I say, until we accept it, then we won't be able to come up with any type of solution. But go off.
Tells me, because I know black and brown people aren't inherently more dangerous than anybody else. I know that to be a fact. That we have to do the work and look at the disparities.
And back to the Smollett case, which she feels has carved what could be an indelible scar on the city of Chicago and her office.
The Smollett case, out of all the cases that we've seen come out of Chicago, the Smollett case. Oh yeah, it's gonna be bad for your office, because you're the ones who you got usurped because your decision was not justice. So yeah, it's gonna reflect poorly on you because you made a bad call. You made a bad judgment call, Kim. Okay? And Jussie is not suicidal.
The fascination, 3 years around this case, we'll be examining for years. And I hope so, because in that time period, the cases of missing black women that don't get the attention.
Miss Kim, please, who do you think are the ones abducting and hiding, burying, disposing of the... Who do you think is doing that? Sis? The femicide, who do you think is causing this? Don't answer too fast.
The victims who have to walk past that scrum to go to their courtrooms and who may feel that their pain and trauma isn't newsworthy. I hope we examine why we were so fixated on this case.
And don't count Kim Foxx out for another run at the state's attorney's office. She did not say yes, and she did not say no.
Please do not. Please do not. For the love of God, if I mean, you know, it's seemingly impossible to stop these idiots from voting other idiots in. So it is what it is.
For another run at the state's attorney's office, she did not say yes, and she did not say no.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.